Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So I just finished a massive teardown of these 13 laptops you see behind me that I've had stored in my garage. I did not take them from the school, so if my principal or whoever is watching from the school, that is not where they came from. Every one of these I actually found on garbage day, some of them actually in dumpsters. Laptops like this are an excellent source of scrappable material, and combined these weighed 62 pounds, so I could bring them into the scrapyard whole and get electronic weight price, which is about 5 to 6 cents a pound. But these do have some great scrappable material in them that I want to get first. A lot of them have gold in different types of amounts. They have copper, aluminum, some brass. So what I'm going to do today is go through some of the materials, help you identify them, maximize your profit, and more importantly, divert these away from the landfill. So I'm going to start with the point that all of these are different styles. I have some that are Toshibas, some that are IBM, some that are HP. So they all vary in size and definitely different types of material. Some of them will have CPU chips, some of them have RAM sticks. So some of them are actually worth finding out how to sell online. That is definitely a good place. One of the laptops that I do not have here is actually an Apple MacBook that I actually found in a dumpster. It was heavily destroyed. The screen was all smashed. But the nice thing is I can actually bring that to an Apple store and they will give me about $100 credit, store credit, to use towards a future purchase. So that's definitely great and definitely going to be a lot more than bringing in a scrap. The other thing is some of these circuit boards that you see that have a nice gold content on them, depending on your scrap yards, some of them may not give you high-grade board price for those or the CPU chips. So another venue is going to places online like boardsort.com. They will buy those types of circuit boards and different IC chips and CPU chips for a higher price than you're going to get at a scrapyard. So definitely important things to look at and to consider, but I'm going to go through some of them right now. The first thing I want to address is from these 13 laptops, I actually got 12 pounds worth of batteries. So different size battery. These are all those ion batteries or Li-ion batteries. You can see different styles. So this was a Sony, Toshiba. And the problem with these batteries is you do have to check with your scrapyard. Some scrapyards will not take these batteries. London, Ontario, for example, one of the scrapyards I go to, they will take household batteries and car and RV batteries, lawnmowers, but they will not take these. The one place that I take them to in Sarnia will, so that's great. And definitely important to take these and divert them from the landfill. The harmful items in here, you definitely want to make sure they stay out of the water system. So that's great that I can actually scrap these. If you do not have a scrapyard in your area that will take them, electronic depot places will take these as well, so definitely better than going into the landfill. As well as these types of small ones. Some of my circuit boards you will see on here do have these little lithium batteries. Again, the scrapyard in London will not take these, but the one in Sarnia will, so that's great as well. So 12 pounds of battery here that you see, which is awesome. So that's great. I have a product and a market for those. Okay. If I was to open this one, this is just a random one I took, but very simple. There's my screen. I don't touch that. The keyboard does have some items on here. And the first thing I do want to address is the keyboard does have this, you can see ticker tape, and it goes all in the keyboard. That is a Mallard board, or Mylar board, sorry. I have a picture of it right here, or an item. This is actually from a keyboard, but you can see all of those little designs in there are silver, so you can pick these out. They are not heavy at all, but there is definitely some silver recovery in there. Some people will take this out and sell these. I do have a large stacked bag of them, but again, it takes a lot to build up weight. So something like this, shipping this to boardsort.com, I'm going to lose money, obviously, on the shipping costs, so I just store them up right now until I have a whole bunch, whereby it'll be more money efficient and obviously more practical for me to ship it. But a silver Mylar board, and I don't actually like to take them off of your little keyboards. You can see here's another one. The backing of this is actually aluminum, you can see. But the problem is once I start taking off this silver Mylar board, all of your keys are gonna fall off. So it does definitely, this would obviously, once they fall off, have to go into the garbage or recycling, depending on your recycling facility. But there is in every one of these buttons a little bit of rubber and a small little silver dot. So I will actually just leave these intact like these, and I will get the e-waste price for that. But that is definitely something you can do, and I often talk about these. Something that I will grab these from are my microwave control dials that have the little push buttons. So they do have the silver Mylar board. But I did want to show that. The other thing that I wanted to show with my keyboard is actually your mouse. These mice, or mouses if you will, there is a small circuit board here. This one does not contain gold, but this one, as you can see, does have gold. All of that nice gold is gold plated on that circuit board. And unfortunately, at the scrapyard that I take my stuff to for e-waste, they will only give me one price for my circuit boards and my e-waste, and it's about 5 to 6 cents a pound. Some places, if you look at different regions or countries, they will divide their e-waste into low grade, medium grade, high grade. And because this has gold on it, this is your higher value. And you're probably gonna get about 14 to 18 cents, depending on the size of it and the gold recovery on here. So something like this, I actually will not bring to my scrapyard in Sarnia. I will hold on to these for sure. I will build them up, and I will obviously look online to sell them as well. But you definitely wanna make sure you check the mouse. And the rest of this, the nice thing, there is a little bit of metal on here. You know, there is some aluminum. There is a few other little circuit boards, but I'm gonna leave those on, but definitely get that. I do also want to mention that taking these apart, there were, as you can see, a whole bunch of little screws that I had to get through in order to open that. So all of these screws are going to be magnetic. They're all going to go into my tin, okay? The rest of this, if I open this pad, there again, if I just put a magnet to it, there is also some tin on there. This tin sheet I am going to take off because tin right now is going for about 8 cents a pound. So definitely going to get more for this as tin than I would for my e-waste. But again, the rest of this I'm just going to leave. Underneath here is my components. This one, as you can see, there is a circuit board here, and there are different chips. You can see right here, there is a chip that's attached with a screw. These little pins, those are gold plated as well on that wire. So I will cut that off and put it into my gold recovery. Little chip here. There is a beautiful heat sink here that I'm going to look at, as well as my CD drive. So a Toshiba one here. Okay, and I'm just going to right now start looking at some of these items that I have. One of the items that I do want to talk about is this is the backing off of one of them, as is this. And if I put a magnet to them, you can see they do not stick, and they are metal. But one of my viewers did ask a question about separating my metals and seeing if something is cast or stainless steel or aluminum. So what I want to do is actually a little experiment. So here is the backing. Here is a little bit of some of the items that came out of it. You can see this is not magnetic. This is not magnetic. So just going to do a couple here. Anything that is magnetic like that is going to be tin. Okay, this one as well. There is non-magnetic. Okay, so all 5 of these items here are non-magnetic, and the thing that you're going to look at now is it could either be stainless steel, cast aluminum, or if you scratch it, actually, it could even be brass. Sometimes it will have the nickel coating on it. I'm scratching it. If it revealed the gold underneath, which it doesn't, it could be brass, as I said. But this right here, very easy to tell now, is the grinder test. The grinder test is the most conclusive, and all I'm going to do actually is just put some safety glasses on. I have a grinder set up right here, and if I hit this with the grinder and it sparks, and it is magnetic, or non-magnetic, sorry, and it sparks, it's going to be stainless steel. If I hit this with a grinder it is non-magnetic, and it doesn't spark, and I've already seen if it's brass or not. It's going to be aluminum. So I'm going to say it's aluminum just by the weight of this, but that is something you cannot tell. You have to check with the grinder. So here we go. I'm going to do all of these for you just to show you. Okay. All right, so these two are actually cast aluminum. The only reason there was a small hint of spark was actually because I hit a small piece of metal back there. When I actually did it up top here, you saw there was no spark. So this is actually going to be cast aluminum, and cast aluminum right now is going for about 50 cents a pound. So that's great, some cast aluminum here. Definitely going to be better than my e-waste. These three components are aluminum, and this is going to be clean aluminum, sheet aluminum. This is going for about 45 to 50 cents a pound too. So definitely want to make sure I separate it. And again, as I said, magnet on there, this is tin. If it was magnetic and sparked, obviously, or non-magnetic and it's sparked, if it's stainless steel, good stainless steel is going for about 77 cents a pound. But again, this is magnetic, so this is going to be tin. Okay. Inside of this, I had a couple really cool items. Here are my heat sinks. Okay, you can see every one of these heat sinks has some gorgeous number 2 copper on it that I'm going to take off, some aluminum on here. But this copper, I'm going to cut that copper for sure, and I'm going to get $4.48 for this copper here. Some of your heat sinks that you see in your large computer towers, especially the older style, sometimes you'll get lucky with aluminum heat sinks and get the big copper ingot with this aluminum. But laptops, again, have beautiful sources of copper that I am going to take out. And I will include down in the description some of my weight teardown once I do it. But definitely some different styles you see here. These fans do have a little copper motor inside of them. But again, what I'm after is that number 2 copper for sure. Okay, just to show you in its intact, there is a circuit board. Beautiful tube there. All I'm going to have to do is take a screwdriver and pop that up. Okay, same with this thing. Comes out really nice, but some really nice number 2 copper in these circuit boards for sure. And another one actually had a sheet like this covering it. And the nice thing about this is if I do the scratch test on it, it looks like copper, and inside you can see that is copper. So some really nice sheet copper. Someone asked me, where would this go? I'm going to throw this actually into just my number 2, just because it is thin. There is a little bit of glue on it, tape on it. But again, some sheet copper in a couple of them. It doesn't weigh a lot, but it definitely adds up. Okay, my CD drives, as you can see right here, these CD drives do vary, but nice thing about these, you can sell these online, but some of them, very beautiful copper prongs in it. Sorry, I'm going to get a couple more. So inside, look at that beautiful copper prong there, those ones, all of these. If I turn these, gold plated. So some people will break these apart for the gold. Some people will try and sell these online. Again, I don't know if they work, but I will definitely, in terms of scrap value, I'm going to separate the items. If I put a magnet to the back is aluminum as well. So definitely some great things in these CD drives, but for sure that gold is going to be worth more as gold than if I was to bring that in as e-waste price. I also have, as I said, from this, a number of RAM sticks that I was able to get. These RAM sticks, you can actually sell these online as well. A lot of people that are rebuilding computers or refurbishing things definitely do want to buy items like this. It does have gold on it, so you can sell these for the gold recovery to like boardsort.com. If I look at how many RAMs it has, or gigabytes or what have you, these don't have much, but again, they do add up, and I have a whole box of these, like I said, that I can easily sell online. So some RAM sticks, gold pronged ones. Some of them you will see do not have the gold. But again, this, because of the gold recovery, I do not want to bring this in and get e-waste price for this. Okay, some of them, as you can see, I'm going to just get a bigger chip here or a bigger motor. This one is intact. This is a nice, beautiful circuit board that you see. And some of them, if I open this, and I was actually surprised, only a few had this, but there is a gorgeous CPU chip. And I do have a video showing you how to remove that gold. The back of this is actually number 2 copper, but I definitely want to remove that gold. So I will include in the video the description or the link for that video. But a really nice CPU chip. I have right here another couple RAM sticks that I want to get. Okay, and all I got to do is just pop them up. There it is. So there's another one. Okay, there's 2 here. There's a couple other things. Look at this beautiful attachment here that goes onto another component. That is all, as I said, gold plated as well, that I'm going to take off. As well, your little chips like this. These chips do have gold, that little gold tip on it. That is an IC chip. There are different styles that you have for sure. Very easy to take those off. All I'm gonna do is, actually, I'll do one right now. Just gonna take a flathead screwdriver, and I always just put this up to something soft, or sorry, something hard to lay it on. I've got to get a hammer. If I have my hammer somewhere. Okay, here we go. Just going to take a flathead screwdriver, pop it underneath. Okay, and I'm just going to pop it out of there. There we go. Okay, so beautiful chip there. You see it's an IC chip. Okay, they will sell. Out of this, I actually got 3 of these CPU chips, different sizes as you can see, but as I said, they do have the prongs on it. Some of them I have done some research on it. If they do not have the prongs sticking up, they are actually, some of them I've actually seen go for, the CPU chips go for over $100, depending on the marking on the back. I don't know which ones, but again, that might be something to look into too, is selling these instead of getting the gold, because $100, there's definitely not $100 worth of gold here, but getting that CPU chip resold, definitely a higher profit for sure. Okay, here's another type that you see that has the little metal heatsink on the top, if you will, different types of IC chips. Okay, the other thing I always will take off as well is, and something that people do kind of overlook sometimes, is all of my telephone jacks, my USB ports, all of these, actually the outer coatings are brass. If I actually just scratched it, the outer coating is a yellow brass that you can hopefully see there. You can't with the lighting, but inside of that does have some gold prongs as well. The phone jacks, you can see, I'm just gonna turn it over. Look at that nice gold in there too. As I said, I do also have a video showing you how to remove those prongs, and I will include in the description that video as well. But as I said, I always cut off my phone jacks for sure, and I will later look at these, get out that gold out of there. But again, some great items here. These things, as I said as well, these are my CD drives, so some of them have bigger components. All of these, if I take a magnet to it as well, they are going to be metallic, not on the outer casing. The outer casing is actually aluminum, but inside of there is a neodymium, which is, you have a high, strong magnet. Some people will sell those magnets online. There is a little bit of gold recovery in here too. You can see that circuit board I want to get out as well for the gold, but there is definitely some clean aluminum on these, as well as other great items, okay? So again, the other thing here, as I said, another a cooling fan, if you will, some nice copper, okay? And again, I cannot say which ones have which or have what components, because again, it does depend on the style of laptop you have, the age it was made, obviously the brand, what country it was made, but some really good items that I was able to pick up from there, and showing you obviously that you will find laptops for sure, just like your old computers, those big computer monitors and CPU or the towers definitely great source of material. But again, these little chips, some really nice gold recovery on there that you definitely can get more for selling online or recovering yourself than if I was to bring it into the scrapyard. So the great thing about this, I do have still a little bit of work to do to clean that up. I will post on the bottom of the description the complete amounts of each metal. But the nice thing, as I said, I've got still here about 45 pounds of laptop that I'm just gonna put into a box and I get to bring into the scrapyard my next time in. So 100% scrappable, 100% diverted. Again, these laptop batteries for sure. Want to keep these out of the landfill and the water system. And great that I can bring those in and get some scrap money for it. So again, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Go get those laptops. Great source of material. As I said, thank you for comments and questions and the support that I've gotten for this whole year. This video will be coming out the last bit of December. So I do want to wish all of my viewers a very happy holiday, happy new year. Thank you for everything and support and kind words that you've given me throughout 2022. I hope 2023 is just as good and I continue to grow and help the scrapping community. So thanks again. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.